Come on. We do love you, Leeds. Absolutely buzzing. Hey, welcome back to Imagine Not Being Leeds for your Middlesbrough versus Leeds United review. Middlesbrough 0, Leeds United 3. The EFL are so corrupt, aren't they? Honestly. Phenomenal away day for me yesterday. Phenomenal. Absolutely loved it. Everything I wanted and more because we got 3 points, which weren't guaranteed, by the way. But yeah, absolutely buzzing. If you're in, please smack a like. Please subscribe if you're new here. Thank you very much. Danny Talksport. Hey up, buddy. Smash like and subscribe. And as usual, he's got my mate Sean at Wilco White's link in, Callum at Passion for Leeds, and his own channel, Danny Rumsey. So a couple of links in the chat there. If you don't mind checking them out, please, that would be great. And Danny also says, can I just say thank you, Matty, for his passionate rants the last few streams. Keep being you, you're great. Cheers, Danny, mate. Thank you, pal. Yeah, I'll keep ranting and I'll keep shouting and bawling from the rooftops, whether it's good or bad, mate. I'm passionate either way, so you get all, both ends of the battle with me, pal. LUFC Passions in. Hey up, mate. Good evening. Hey up, Gavin. Hope you're well, mate. Love his work ethic and passion, mate. I'm on my last legs, but yeah, I felt like I wasn't going to do one tonight, but then I felt like coming on and talking about it. So back tomorrow with late night Leeds and a night earlier than normal. We've been away in Cardiff for weekend, so but yeah, I had to come on tonight. I'd see how I feel about 9 o'clock and then I put it out. But yeah, I'm still knackered after yesterday. Early hours of morning I got in and yeah, brilliant though, brilliant. First good night sleeping week. Thank you, Leeds. Yeah, that's it, Gavin, innit? 100%. Yeah, well done, Callum, mate. Getting 50 subs, good lad, mate. Proud of you, buddy. You keep it up. I'm glad you said 3. Gemma, it wasn't it, love? It was 3. Absolutely robbed. We were absolutely robbed. Top Banana, hope you're well. Yeah, we'll get into it, Danny. We'll get into it. Hi, Nige. Hope you've had a good day, mate. Evening, Matty. Expected a draw last night, but what a great performance. Yeah, 3-0 win, mate. And there's Gemma's link as well if you want to check Gemma's channel out. Hiya, Angela. Hope you're well. We always had faith, didn't we? To be fair, mate, yeah, we can be nervous, we can be pessimistic. I think it's where we've been this last month, and I think it's been warranted. A lot of people say you can't be negative, you've got to be positive all the time, but I do think it's just been where we've been at, innit? So we have doubted. I mean, I did say we'd go to Middlesbrough and win, and me and you both said, Sawyer, even though we've been, you're same as me, passionate, very supportive of the team and Farker, but the last 2-3 weeks it's been hard. It's been hard to sort of keep pushing that narrative of yeah, I'm positive, we can do this, when it's looked like for a little while we ain't gonna. But what I'll say on that is we back the boys. They've done it yesterday, and I now firmly believe we'll push on now. Notes concrete. I mean, who'd have thought Sheffield United had got back-to-back losses? That's flawed me. That I'm absolutely buzzing with it. Don't get me wrong, but that's honestly, I cannot believe they've lost back-to-back games against them two sides. Cannot believe it. Just goes to show you, it could come down to wire. I firmly believe now Leeds will win on Saturday, and it's a momentum shift then. And if we can win our own games, I mean, I'm looking at it now, and I'm kind of thinking, win your own games, draw your away games. I've said all season. I didn't think that'd be enough. Now with 5 to go. It could be. If we come out with 11 points, that'd take us to 96. That could be enough. It could be, especially with them two playing each other. If Sheffield United were to lose that game, I mean, ideally looking at it now, you probably want a draw, but Sheffield United want to lose that game and we want to win next 2. You end up having a bit of a gap there with 3 games to go. So, but yeah, it's crazy. I'm just hoping the roller coaster, it's sort of stopped. A bit of roller coaster for us and let the other two sort of battle it out, but. It was brilliant last night. We didn't play brilliant, but the whole night for me as an away fan, getting the 3 points, it was incredible. Even my how's your ticker, mate? That's what Leeds does to you, AOP, here, mate. If you've seen my vlog, mate, I will go in absolutely nuts, man, nuts. Love it. Tickle those likes from Matty says Top Banana. Thanks, buddy. Yeah, please stick a like on. Rafinha right again scored 1 assisted 2 player of the match. Well, Stephen, tomorrow on Late Night Leeds, Rafinha is our player of the poll player, the player of the poll, the legend player. Don't I saying legend, but maybe Rafinha gets away with it, even though we're only at least 2 years. We touched on him. Adam's done a really good montage of his best bits at Leeds United, about a minute and a half long. So we'll be talking about Rafinha tomorrow on Late Night Leeds, which is a nice little addition to the show. I think, speaking about ex-players that we really enjoyed watching. How did you sleep, Gavin? I was buzzing. I think everybody woke up feeling the best they've felt in weeks, I would imagine. I mean, I struggled to get to sleep because I'm on such a natural high. I went up for work at 5:30. I don't think I fell asleep till about 2. So I only had about 2.5, 3 hours sleep, but well worth it. Well worth it. Not behind his better, Mike. Yeah, it is, mate. It is. Danny says he's doing a preview on Friday after the presser. I'm going for a big win. Yeah, I'm back. I'll be back to my 3s and 4s nils now, Danny. Now we're out of us, bro. Evening, young man. Yeah, now Tash has come off. I've been getting some compliments on Tash. I don't like it. I don't like it. It was a trimming accident. It was a trim gone wrong, basically. I was trying to trim it up, and yeah, I took too much off, and our lass was buzzing, to be fair. She's like, yeah, you've got to take it off now. But yeah, Gemma, we're going up as champions. That is the positive we want to see and hear, but long way to go yet, Gemma. Long way. I'm with you on that. I think we're fine now. I really do. Ian Ward, Dan James cost me a small fortune when he scored. I jumped up and knocked 6 pints on the table. Yeah, no, but it was when Blunt's result came in. I mean, it was classed. Obviously, they came in like 10, 15 minutes in there while we were still playing before the end of our game. And the move, I mean, don't get me wrong, it was so nervy last night there. We were so nervous that last like 10, 15 minutes. But those results coming in, knowing that even worst case, if we'd have conceded as bad as it would have been, it'd have been a shame to not win last night and not have that chance to obviously go top and take advantage of those lost points by the sides, the other 2 sides. But it was sort of like it took the edge off a little bit. No one had lost and one had drawn, and even if we'd have got out with a draw, we'd have still gained on Sheffield United. Granted, I'd have been fuming. Don't get me wrong, and I'm sure everybody else would have been. But it was nice to see 2 other teams falter for once and not be Leeds United, because it's been us, hasn't it? Of late, and Sheffield United fans who 7 days ago have been giving it big uns, about big licks. Been very quiet. I've had no one commenting on my TikTok from Sheffield United fans. I've had no one on my YouTube for the last couple of games, which has been nice. Lee, found this channel after Luton. Loved your passion, even though it was dropped points plus your like. Cheers, mate. Thank you very much, Lee. Appreciate that, pal. Very passionate, mate. Very passionate. Too passionate. It bloody exhausts me, does this club, and I'm sure it does everybody else. Hey, team up you well, mate. Ian Ward, 11 points gets us promoted no matter what. If the other point, it will. Yeah, I mean, I thought it'd take more than that, but I didn't expect Sheffield United to lose back-to-back games, did we? So, yeah, potentially, mate. Potentially. I mean, 4 wins. You can probably afford 4 wins and a loss. 12 points will get you up, but yeah, I think we're going to do it now. I really do. I'm getting excited again now. See me smiling out. Anyone who's joined my channel in the last couple of weeks will just think I'm this negative Nelly. But I'm really not. And hopefully you can see me bouncing off walls again a bit more. And Danny says, thanks for the call last night. Much appreciated. Yeah, I give Danny a FaceTime, a WhatsApp call while I wouldn't stand for about 20 seconds. He loved it. If you haven't hit the links in the chat, further up the chat, if you don't mind doing that for my mates' channels, please, that'd be great. Nice says, if the Blunts win 4 out of 5, unlikely we need 11 from 15 to secure top 2. Yeah, I agree. Like I say, it is unlikely. I mean, a few games ago, I would have said that easily possible of doing that, but now I'm looking at it. I do think you're on money there, Nige. I do. Evening, hey up, Darren. Hope you're well, mate. You've had a good day. I'm sure everybody's had a brilliant day, to be fair. Yeah, Lee, I've been looking at that, mate. I'm looking at it today. Fighting for the life. It's an awful place to travel to. I fancy Sheffield United to drop points again. Maybe not a loss, but even a draw at this point would be like a loss for them, wouldn't it? So, I mean, can you imagine if they want to drop points there and we win on Saturday? Wow, party time. But yeah, I think it's such a tough fixture for them. I watched a little bit of 10 minutes of a Sheffield United podcast, mainly just to have a bit of a laugh at them earlier. And they're stressing. They're so stressed about this game. So stressed. And I think they should be. I think they should be on paper. It's a game you look at, a few games ago and say, they'll go win there. Yeah, we've still got to go to Plymouth from last day of the season, which looks a tricky fixture. Depends where they are in the table. By that point, they could be down, they could be safe. We could have won league. We could already be promoted by that point, so it'll be interesting to see for us. But I definitely think it's a tough fixture for them, and they're shitting a brick about it. They are shitting themselves about going to Plymouth. They're hoping Ham Sandwich Face makes a fair few changes because they're not happy with how their side's playing, and that's what we want to hear in as Leeds fans. That's what we want to hear. It's meltdown central. I'm looking in the chat, and honestly, they just sound like us. They sound like us. That the things they're saying the same as what we were saying a couple of games ago. It's funny. You think Leeds United, it's just us going through it, and the meltdowns we have, and the fights between it. It's every fan base. Ours is just a bigger, more supported club, obviously, but the banter, the fallout, the conversations, the narratives, everything's same for every football club. Looking in their chat, it was like I was reading the Leeds United one, just with different players' names on there. It really was. It really, really was. Remember, my clean shaven equals promotion. Yeah, if I grow a little tash again and we lose, I'm going to get pelters, aren't I? So I'm going to have to be careful what I do. No pit or no party. I saw you yesterday. We shouted you, but I don't think you heard us. Ha ha. Nah, mate, there were a couple of blokes stood about 5 or 6 rows behind me who sort of looked to me, pointing to me. But I didn't. I don't know. I don't think that were you, because I don't think they were really shouting. It looked like they knew who I was, but then didn't say out. So, but yeah, there were a couple of people I know were there who I thought you were one of them. I'm sure you told me you were going. And I thought I might have got chatting to a couple of people, because it was quite in concourse. It was actually quite open. As much as there were 3,000 fans there, that it was quite spacious in there. And it weren't like, if there were anyone I thought I might bump into, I definitely thought I'd see some folk there, but I didn't. But yeah, next time if you ever see me, mate, just come and nudge me. I'd have bought you a pint. Hello from Dublin. Hiya Thomas. Hope you're well. Make sure you smash a like for this lad. Cheers, Kieran, mate. Thanks a lot, buddy. Stephen, listen to some Blaze fans, and they were all saying they have to win the next 5. Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? They genuinely think it's slipping away, and they've got to win 5 out of 5, which I don't think is going to happen. I really don't. If we're going up top 2, it'll be done for before Plymouth. Yeah, I agree for top 2. It might come down to title, maybe, but I mean, who do you think will go up with us if we're all sort of looking now, thinking no, we'll go up? Who are you thinking goes up with us? Because at the minute, I would assume you'd all say Burnley. They look more consistent. When Burnley play Sheffield United, are we expecting Burnley to win or draw? Are we not expecting Sheffield United to go to Burnley and win that? Because I'm not personally. But obviously, form is temporary. It can all change like that, can't it? I mean, if we struggle and don't get a result on Saturday, it goes back to being a negative space again, in a worried space. But we'll just have to see how it goes. But yeah, that game yesterday, honestly, just from start to finish as a fan in general, going to Witherspoons in Garforth, meeting the Garforth Whites, getting on coach. It was a dry coach. I don't know if anyone's watching from Garforth Whites. It wasn't a dry coach. Wink, wink. It was supposed to be. So a couple of pints at pub. I'm not a massive drinker. I don't drink really much at all, but I have to pretend, to be like, lads. So I'm like, yeah. They're telling me when they went to Portsmouth, they're drinking tequila at 3:30 in the morning. I'm like, whoa, yeah, is that it? Yeah, I brushed my teeth for tequila. I'm like, nah, not all it was. It would a bit much, some of the stories I would have like, but I tell you what, being part of that coach travel down there, and obviously we weren't too far to go. Unbelievable people on there, like unbelievable people. One of those longest serving fans has been away with a game. Is it Gary Edwards? He went on that coach. So I said a lot of Gary Edwards. Absolute legend. Got a couple of books out there. I think he's been to a bit like Heidi, been to home and away forever. So it was nice to meet him. And just the crack they had on the bus, it was just class, absolutely class. And hearing the stories of the away days, even they've had this season, going to Portsmouth and getting beat 1-0, but hearing how they do it week in, week out. Some of them don't. Some of them prioritise working weekends to, doing overtime, missing the games at Ellen Road. Some of them just go to the away games. I found it mental, but they're just so passionate. They're just such a great bunch, and to know they went all the way to Portsmouth and they're out 20 hours to get beat 1-0, and you just think, sometimes I just think some play. I know you can't win every game, but I just wish some of these people could speak to players, not just Leeds United, any club, and just know, like, I know you've got supporters and you've got loyal supporters, but there's some supporters out there that like literally it is the life. A lad was telling me that he didn't go to his sister's wedding because it was a pre-season game he had to go to. They're there talking about Sweden. They're talking about the Plymouth. Like, they're there fighting over Oxford tickets. Like anyone got like the dealing drugs, try to sort out Oxford tickets. Like it's unbelievable being around that sort of environment of it's just. I thought it was my life, Leeds United. Like unbelievable. It was so enlightening, so good to like be surrounded with, these sort of people, and they were just a really nice bunch. And yeah, I'm apparently part of the family now, which was really nice to hear. But the Garth Whites, if anyone on that coach, if anyone knows them or has been there before, thank you so much for having me. I absolutely loved it. It was so good, and they're going to try and get me some spares to a couple of away games next season. So I'll have to find the balance between going to away games as well as home games and not getting divorced. So we'll have to see how we go. It was so good. It was so good. Superman says Schmidt does well on the right wing. Hope we win 4 more to get promotion. Burnley definitely going up. Bamford should start on Saturday. Come on. Yeah, we're getting a Bamford, mate. I don't think he should start, mate, but I aren't going to argue with anyone that does. He's been phenomenal. Told you about Bamford. You did, mate. He did. Thing is with Bamford, I know he's got all the attributes, but I think anyone stating he would have definitely come back and done what he's done these last 2 games, I don't think there was much proof in that because we didn't know his fitness. But we all know what he can do. I am always worried about him having those big chances that he misses, like yesterday, and he buried it. And that's what we need from Bamford. That's what we need from Bamford. Well, not. Yeah, I agree, Nige. I agree. I know you did, Danny. I know you did. Look at you getting these receipts out already. He's only played 222. He's only played 45, 50 minutes in 2 games. Come on. Let's make sure he's fit for Saturday first. I'm hoping we win the league against Bristol. I'm going to that game. You'll have to meet me, Top Banana. You have to come and meet me in Peacock, buddy. Hope you had a good night yesterday, mate. Aisha, honestly, phenomenal. Phenomenal. Everything I wanted and more. Just, it's like rocking horse shit, though, getting a ticket in it for an away game. Like, speaking to him, I couldn't believe how difficult it is and how, some of these people go every game and they still game. Like, there's one lad who it's the only stadium in the Championship he hasn't ticked off is Oxford, and he currently hasn't got a ticket. So he's going to go down on coach and try and blag his way in somehow. The only ticket he hasn't got is Oxford. It's the only stadium. So they've all got apps on the phone. One of them's done 78 of the 92 in the whole 92. And like obviously he's missing so many from League 2 and some from League 1, which he'll probably never get to do, hopefully. Hopefully we never have to play sides that low down anymore. So hopefully he'll never tick them off. But like, yeah, it's phenomenal. Honestly, I was so buzzing. Hey up, Matt. Hope you're well, mate. Hey, mate. Great win and fight we showed when it should have been free, and that from Bamford at the end. Turn back. Oh, mate. That run he did down left hand side was absolutely fucking quality. I would like to see Will in the 10 and Rams out on the right and Bamford up top start. Yeah, mate. I want to see Ramazani as well, mate. I do. The players watch these fan channels. Players seem proper fired up. Yeah, they did. They really did. David Oliver, good evening, mate. Hey up, mate. Hope you're all right, pal. Really enjoying your content, mate. Thanks, Jamie, mate. Thank you. Yorkshireman, I can't take us needed away and going into Plymouth. Yeah, I know. But I tell you what, a few games ago, last week before, when we've been in this middle of this rut, if you'd have told me win at Plymouth, you go up, I'd have took it. Because it's it's a 50-50, and I was worried we were going to finish third only what a matter of days ago. Or it was possible. I suppose some will say it still is possible, but I'm going to try and remain positive now. Take the tickets, Matty. Yeah, man. David Oliver, great game last night. 3-0 that was. Saw your limbs coverage at the Riverside and vid from the car. Yeah, we're classic. Yeah, it was good getting escorted out by police. I was like, yeah, go on. Like I'm some hard man. I'm not really. I'm not at all. it was just class. Absolutely class. Yeah, absolutely class. I'd like to say if anyone hasn't done an away day, obviously it should be on your bucket list to do, but obviously I understand it's so difficult. It's so difficult. It's not what you know, it's who we know, and I got really lucky. I know that's the only thing with Bamford he needs. He's finishing top notch. Yeah, he does. But like I say, what's he had? One real chance in 2 games is come on. And he put it away. Timed his run beautifully. Willie Nonto, that's what he can do from those areas. When we say about him playing in 10, that's what he can do from those central spaces. Thread the ball through like that. Do you know what I mean? You probably wouldn't get that from Aronson. That's what I like about Nonto. I don't want to rule him out of that 10 just because he hasn't set the world alight, in the last game. Matty looks good without the whiskers. Do you all prefer me without the tash? I think you'd recognise me. Who's this guy? I need an away ticket, but never know how to. Yeah, I just got lucky, mate. I just got lucky. Made friends made friends with someone local who seen me on TikTok. He lives down the street from me, back and forth. Yeah, and I managed to get one, buddy. Hey, up evening. I'm well, mate. Hope you are too. Nice to see you happy again. Cheers, Jonathan. Oh, yeah, man. I looked everywhere to meet you last night, mate. I'm now in the get Bamford started and cannot believe I'm saying it. Yeah, I mean, I don't want to start him, buddy, but I can't believe how much I enjoyed watching him play yesterday, mate. I really, really enjoyed watching him play yesterday. And I never thought I'd say that about Pat. I never thought I would. And what I can say is a lot of people saying getting the receipts out and stuff for what was said about Pat in past. I haven't really got. I've said it. I've said I don't really rate him. I asked for really watching him play for Leeds. I've said that in past 100%. I don't think he'll be fit. The best ability is availability, and I just didn't see him getting fit. The fact he's fit now, the fact he looks like he's turning back the clock. Someone said that earlier. It does look like that. Looks like I didn't think he'd have the legs. If I'm honest, it looked like he got the legs last night. And he had a point to prove. I always knew if he could get minutes against Borough, he'd perform against Borough because it's just what he does. Some people have a side they just have a knack at doing well against. Borough's that side for Pat, 100%. Scored there last season. He always does well against Borough. It was so good to see him yesterday. I wouldn't start him because what I would say is come on the last 2 games and impacted the game. We've seen this season, sometimes that's the best role for a player. He hasn't got 90 minutes in legs, so you're going to have to take him off and bring someone on anyway. So for me, leave it as it is. I wouldn't be replacing the top scorer right now for Bamford. I think give it another game, see if he can keep doing what he's doing. And if Piddo has another poor game, because Piddo were poor yesterday. If Piddo has another poor game, then there's a conversation potentially. But I think for now, I'd give him another run off a bench and see how he does. You know, being at Ellen Road with that pressure that Ellen Road brings. We've seen him crumble under that plenty of times before. I think that's where I'm with it, mate. But I know there's a lot of people calling for it. Nice to see you happy again. I was getting worried. Yeah. It's all relative to results, so isn't it, Aisha? You know, and you know that. You know, I've been getting a bit of stick for being a bit negative, but as you know, on this channel, I've only really been down these last couple of weeks. But it's reflective of the results. And if we'd have conceded a late goal last night, I'd have been raging. And what a difference it would have been. Because let's be fair, how they didn't score last night. We can all say we should have had 3 goals. We should have won 3-0. But I tell you what, another day they score 3. Like at the back, our defence was shoddy at times, and that away end, right, were fucking nervy. Quite volatile at times. I mean, we're 1-0 up all the 10 minutes later after scoring 1-0 up. We're singing, we're chanting, everyone's supporting. There's a lot of murmurs going around. You know, when Darlow passes the ball out of play, when I think Rodon did it a couple of times as well, and there were a lot of missed passes that first half. Were very poor, I thought, even though we won up. And there were murmurs, you know, Solomon and Aronson losing ball. There were a lot, and the negativity even at 1-up away from home was still there, you know. And what can you say? These people pay the money to go. And what I will say is, I've seen a lot of people talk about how well we played, which I think we did. I think we grew into the game. I thought second half we were a lot better. I thought certain players played really well. I also think some players still aren't at that level, you know, where they should be. I think Solomon should have had 2 assists. But outside that, I thought Solomon were a little bit off it. I thought Aronson were a bit off it. I thought Tanaka were poor again. That's 3 games in a row. Tanaka's been poor. I thought Dan James were outstanding. I thought Ampadu and Rodon, even though there were a lot of chances still for Middlesbrough, I thought they looked really solid. The battle, you know, winning headers, blocking shot after shot after shot. But on another day, if Whitty could have had the shooting boots on, we couldn't believe, as a fan there, we couldn't believe they didn't score. There were a lot of times we felt like we were clinging on. And I tell you what, Carl Darlow, for him to already have a song, Carl Darlow, oh, always believe in your soul. You got the power to know you're indestructible. Always believe in Carl Darlow. Classy in that last night. I loved it. How was your voice? There you go. Kilgallen, it's not too bad. It was bad this morning. When I got in. Can't get a home ticket. Yeah, it's a struggle now. I don't know if you always try and get more than one, buddy, but I just get one and I get one. I say I get one all the time. I entered the ballot for Stoke one, and I don't know if I've got it yet because that one hard to get. But you normally get 1 week a game, just singles. David Oliver, Leeds have a lot of advantages for home games. Yeah, it's a great point, mate. To Sheffield's 2, the clash between the Blades and the Clarets and goal difference. Yeah, to be fair, 3 great points there, David, 100%. In the 3 home games, have to be wins. You know, we've followed at home of late, but we do know how good we are at home. I mean, I would say the worst you can expect at home there is maybe a draw in one of them. I don't expect us to lose any of these home games. I expect them to be 3 wins. But if we do drop points at home in one of them, you know, I think we are capable of still winning at least one of the away games anyway. So, yeah, I mean, it's a positive switch in my mind. And you know what I needed to see? I needed to see 3 points, obviously, yesterday, but I needed to see fight. And yesterday we got that. I don't think we played brilliant, but it didn't matter. The fight in that second half was really, really good. It was so good to see. We hadn't had that in a while for me. How good was last night, man? Grinded it out like champions. That's it, mate. We did grind it out. Exactly, mate. 3 home games out of 5 left. Come on, yeah. Actually, that's what I wanted to see. I wanted to see that fight. I wanted them to leave it all out on pitch. And it did, you know, Tanaka crying at end. They left it all out on pitch. They left it all out there, which is all you want from a side. All you want from your side. Hampson Road on best centre-back partner. Yeah, it's a tough, innit? Because I don't know if, Richard, if you don't rate Strauch, maybe you do. I rate Strauch. But Hampson Road on 21 clean sheets in 31 games, I think it is now. I mean, don't get me wrong, mate. It shouldn't have been a clean sheet last night, Richard. It shouldn't have been. Like, fucking hell. They have 20 shots, only 2 or 3 on target. But yeah, Hampson Road on. The Wells connection, the synergy they've got, the chemistry they've got, it does work, mate. It's such a good partnership. And we saw last season, it was a bit of a blessing in disguise, Pascal going out. As long as you don't lose one of Hampson Road as well, these can handle the championship strikers. These are absolutely fine. You have no question, no qualms at all if these were your partnership all season. They're really, really good. The problem with that is, are you going to miss Ampadu in the middle of the park? And I thought at times yesterday, because Tanaka were a little bit off it, there were times yesterday where Middlesbrough were getting straight through us in the middle. In that first half, I was saying we're missing Ampadu at middle because I felt like they were running straight through us at times. Second half, we got to grips with it, and I thought Gruev were really good yesterday. And he kept on dropping back, helping out the defence, starting to build up plays well from the defence, like dropping in a bit of a free or just in front of the back too. And yeah, I mean, I thought Gruev played well yesterday. Plymouth and Oxford both took beatings tonight, so they'll be softened up for our games. I hope so, David. I think Nonto in the 10 was lazy, but I hope he proved me wrong. Yeah, me too, mate. Everyone's saying they don't, mate. I was on a pub with hundreds of idiots who gave me shit. I had to work until 11:30 removing cables. Seriously, mate. We don't. Pero seriously needs to come off the bench, start Joseph and Bamford for 40 mins, only just back from injury, so I have to be careful. You start Joseph, then bring Bamford on. You wouldn't play Pero. Needs to come. Yeah, earlier season, Joseph was starting money and Pero were coming off the bench and getting goals and assists, and that were working for so long. And then eventually you had to start Pero because Joseph weren't doing it and Pero were doing off the bench. I think there might be a conversation for Bamford to start in a few games. Maybe if he does this for another 2, another 1 or 2, maybe not 2 or 3, we're nearly there, aren't we then? Does it for another couple of games. But no, I for me, mate, Joseph's number 3 now. He hasn't done enough to warrant a start. Piro's still his top scorer. Piro is a little bit out of form, but it's not like he's missing sitters. But what I'll say about Piro is when he's not scoring and assisting, games do pass him by. It's a couple of games now. He's had quite a low scoring game in terms of his ratings and stuff in pretty much every start. He has been off it. What you saw with Bamford was the ball stuck with Bamford. When Bamford's on form, all his attributes are what this Leeds United side need. For me, I just want them attributes in a different player, someone more someone younger, someone fitter, someone who's more composed in front of goal. So I think that's our aim going forward, whether next season and beyond. Pat is the attributes Pat has is the striker we need. Well, if we've got Farke in charge, especially, that is the striker we need for a 4-2-3-1 formation. We need it in a different person, don't we, really? Because he's just not fit enough. But it's really, really good. And whether he stays beyond the season or not, that's not up to me. But he's doing all he can right now. He hasn't done much wrong this season. He's just been injured. He can't really help that, really. He's back now. He's fighting fit. He looks hungry. And he had one chance yesterday and he buried it. Again, close to probably being one of man of matches, and he'd only had a sub appearance again. When you look at that goal he put away, when you look at what he did on that sideline, when it absolutely mugged and made him look a right set of fools, and then played a beautiful ball through as well to Schmidt on right hand side. Couldn't ask for much more to Bamford yesterday, really couldn't. Looks like Nonto in for James Bamford to get a shot off the bench. Yeah, I think so, mate. He does, which I'm well shocked about. He does look fit. You know what as well? He looks happy. He looks happy. He looks like he's playing with a smile on his face, enjoying it, seeing him come to the fans yesterday. I mean, the fans backing no matter what. You know, it did help yesterday that the song they were playing over the Tanner Middlesbrough song, it's our Bamford song. So they were getting even when he went on the pitch, we were singing about Bamford. And he gets that at home when he's seen warming up. He gets a lot of supporters, Bamford. I know he's like, Marmite, you love him or you hate him. But there is still a lot of love for Bamford. And I thought it would done. I thought it would done a long time ago. But he's showing some life in the old dog yet, and fair play to him. Fair play. Maybe he could be different, and Danny will be shocked to hear me say that. But I'm just saying what I've seen yesterday. That was brilliant yesterday. I get a box set away game sometimes. It could be an option for Plymouth, Oxford and Plymouth, if you can get enough to join you. Decent that, mate. I don't think I'll get away with Oxford or Plymouth this year, mate. It's a bit too far for me, I think, with kids and that. I feel like I've got about a 6-month waiting list for me to get to an away game that far away, but we'll see. We can't rush Bamford back too quick, not with his injury history. Bring him on earlier, though. Yeah, I'm up for that. I'll be up for that, mate. Pirro needs to go big time. Yeah, some people just go through these forms, patches of forms, like David. Things with Pirro, I wouldn't rule out him banging a couple in on Saturday, you know, or if he scores, getting a run of goals again. You could argue he's a top scorer. Yeah, was it 15 goals or 16 goals? You could argue he probably should have more, you know, for how many goals we've scored as a team and being our focal point. I would have liked him to have got 20. Can he still get 20? It's looking slim in it if he needs another 4 or 5 goals in the next 6, but in the next 5, sorry. It's looking slim, but I do back him to if he plays Saturday, get a goal, I do. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think he starts. I understand why you don't want him starting. When he came on in his last 2 games, he changed the game a bit and impacted especially. Yeah, exactly, Kate. That's it. Don't change. It's working for him, innit? For me, it's working. So that's why I'd just I'd stick with that. Yeah, DJ's a massive loss, mate. I'm hoping it is just the one game. Is it been confirmed he isn't playing 100%? I'd been pinned off the bench. Yeah, I wouldn't, mate, but I know there's a lot of people saying that, buddy. We are going on that run now till the end. I hope so, buddy. Bamford, what other options are there? The cheapskated, not been had another 9. Yeah, we should have had another 9, mate. We should have done. We really should have done. For me, should have just got Adam Armstrong. Just take him on loan. Pirro got 3 out of 10 rating, start him and bring Pat on. Yeah, I mean, it might sound a bit harsh to say, you know, you look at it like you go, well, Pat played better than Pirro, do you start Pat? But I think it's just with Pat fitness in it. It worked bringing him off a bench. He made an impact. He's done impact in 2 games now. So Pirro 3 out of 10, yeah, but you hope Pirro can have a better game and get that goal. Ultimately, I think we need Pirro to hit his form again. What I don't want to do is start patting break down and you have Pirro who's been sat on bench 2 or 3 games or only getting 20 minutes because you know that's all you get really is a sub under Farker, and then him having to come back in again and try and get his form going. For me, stick with Pirro, hoping he gets through this form, knowing that Pat right now is a great bench option to bring on. Ashley Buckland. Sheffield needs to go win their next 3 before they play Burnley, or it could be curtains for them when we play our last home game. Oh, come on. Paddy not ready to start. You're keeping to. Yeah, I agree, mate. You're right. Bang on there. Yeah, you're right. Buddha had some bad. Yeah, they did, David. It weren't the easiest of games at all. I tell you what as well. I don't know if you all agree. Watching it in stadium can feel a bit different, do you know what I mean, than watching at home and listening to commentators and stuff when you've got people behind you shouting all obscenities and stuff. It's just a different experience being at the game, as you'll know. But I thought Johnny Housen for Middlesbrough were outstanding, you know. I thought he was outstanding. 36-year-old centre mid, dropped back in the centre half now. I thought Johnny Housen were really good yesterday. Not that I'm admiring Middlesbrough players, maybe it's because it's Johnny Housen, but I thought he were outstanding. Played really well. Defence got their mojo back now. Darlow's in between. Lee, 100%, mate. Just having that confidence back. You think now, right? You've got a Flappy Mellier, you know, Strauch, Rodon. Now you've got Darlow, Ampadu, Rodon, that Welsh trio. They will back Darlow. I go on about the Welsh connection, maybe a bit too much. I think that plays a factor. I think that's a massive aid to Leeds United. I really do. And I just think that trio is just going to be so solid down to the end of the season. You know what I mean? They're there now. Clean sheet. First clean sheet. Would you back against us to get another 5 clean sheets? No, we've seen it. We've done it. With them 2 at centre half, we can get clean sheet after clean sheet after clean sheet. especially with confidence and knowing who's behind him now, because he just looks so steady. He looks so composed when the ball's in the air, whether it's punching. We saw plenty of catches at Luton. And when it comes to just he's organising, he's very vocal. I don't think his distribution is as bad as people said. I know he kicked one out in first half, which were poor, but I don't think his distribution is as bad as people think. I think he's very cool, calm, and collected, and that's all we needed. I mean, luckily they didn't test him too much, but the times he has been tested in these 2 games, he's come up trumps and he's made a couple of good saves. Schmidt looked good when he come on. He did, buddy. He really did. Matty, I would love to talk about Paddy with you. He's a different player to someone has no purpose. Paddy is a shit out. Yeah, you know what it was with Paddy, mate? You bang on with that. The free kicks he won when he come on were just tremendous. Because we were under so much pressure. Like the fact Paddy got us a goal, I know we disallowed, but the fact that Paddy got a goal and looked likely, what a bonus. But what he did was brilliant. It won us free kick after free kick. We were under the cosh like chuff for that last 15, 20 minutes. And he won us several free kicks in areas where they were troubling. He'd go up. He just knows how to get his body into a challenge to win that free kick. And that's the experience. That is the shithouser that you talk there, buddy. And we needed that. And he just gets you up the pitch. He gets you. And that's what Pirlo doesn't do that. So when you're trying to see a game out or you try to get into a game and it's a physical tight game, Bamford's your man for those moments if he's fit enough. And he looks fit enough. He looks hungry. He looks happy. And I didn't think I'd be having this conversation this season. I fucking didn't. And I'm sure a lot of you didn't. But you've got to use your eyes. You don't have to apologise for being wrong, because the times we've criticised Bamford, they were right for that moment. I'm very much what's happening right now. So when I've been negative in this last couple of weeks, it's been based on what I'm seeing right now, which has been fair. And whether people think it's wrong or not, I think it's fair. I've been buzzing most of the season because guess what? We've been winning most of the season, 18-game unbeaten runs, 1 loss in 23, top of league for most of it. It's been a brilliant season, so I'm happy most of the time. When Bamford's been out of form, injured, missing sitters, just like Meslier when he's throwing it in his goal or putting on toe of a striker for a tap-in, you're right to criticise. Back the team, go support them, but you are allowed to criticise. But you also have to admit when that player's doing well. And right now, Bamford fucking smashing it, man. Absolutely smashing it. I'm buzzing. We got 4 for Stoke from Ballot. Well, that's pissed me off, kid, because that means Ballot's been drawn and I ain't got a ticket. Exclusive. Bastard. 11 points if we lost. If only Darlow started ill. Yeah, and this is where, when I've questioned it last few weeks about Farke's man management, and I don't think he's got the best man. I think he's got elements. He's done some stuff well. I think his man management with Nonto were great that first season. I think he's improved plays, which his man management skill is improved. James is improved Firpo. I think his man management skills with Meslier, he thought he was doing right by keeping him in. I think his man management skills lacked with Meslier. I think his man management skills have lacked with calling players out. So I think when it comes to Meslier, that's the one. When we talk about his man management, he's got some stuff right as far as he's got some stuff wrong, like we all do, fucking hell. But I think that the actual the Meslier one has cost us points. He might get away with it though. Based on what's happened yesterday, we might just get away with it. 11 points dropped, might just get away with it. We get 30 points, we're home. Yeah, mate, if we get 30 points, we're done, mate. Yeah, 4 wins and a draw. We are done if we get that, David, 100%. That I think that gets us champions, David. We're done, aren't we, at that? We're done at that. 2-0 at a weekend, I would set that, mate. Let's just win them all and get 100 points. It'd be nice to get 100 points, wouldn't it? It looks unlikely now, but it'd be nice. Hey up, Duncan. Hope you're well, mate. Evening, Matty. Good to be back at it last night. Why does Solomon refuse to take his man on that outside? Just keeps cutting. Mate, he got so much stick yesterday, right? And it's weird because I said this to a few of my mates today, and they were like, Solomon had a great game. And I'm like, what? We're watching a different game. And then I've watched the highlights back, and he sets up the goal. He then sets up another one for Tanaka, which he went onside with 2 men. Honestly, fucking joke. And then he plays that one, and that should have been his second assist. But in the ground, watching it to the eye in the ground, Solomon looked really frustrating to us. Like, he kept on every time, like I say, he did put 2 wonderful crosses in. He did run down the wing and get played through by Firpo for that goal as well. But like, honestly, I don't know if it's a Farke instruction. I don't know if it's just him. I don't know if it's sometimes when you're low on confidence, which he looks a bit low on confidence, does Solomon. Doesn't look the play we did 5-6 weeks ago, does he? He's out of confidence. He don't want to lose the ball. He don't want his dribbling stats or his passing stats to be down. So he's playing safe. He's playing in himself a little bit. Or is that a tactic? Is that why Ramazan is not getting minutes? Because we know he's a bit of a maverick and he will take people on. Is Farke wanting that more safe player, which we know Farker likes to be a bit more safe and defensive resolute. You know, is that why he's playing this way? Is it a Farker instruction? Don't commit too forward. Don't, you know, we're not seeing as many overlaps, I don't think, at the minute, not as much as we've seen this season. Is it just nerves because of the form we've had? Are we sort of not playing free-flowing football for that reason? But what I will say is, everybody dug in yesterday. There were nobody who didn't, you know, cover every blade of grass. They fucking worked their asses off. But yeah, Solomon did do that a lot yesterday, Duncan. There were a lot of fans saying the same, especially in that first half. He'd get it, he'd take a touch, he'd be one-on-one with his fullback, and he'd turn and just pass it back. When we know he's got the quality to beat him, that's the thing. Yeah, well, mate, massive character from boys, massive character. Don't doubt the quality, do we? Doubted the character. I have doubted the character. I've doubted the mentality. I've doubted if they want it enough. I've doubted the cojones. They showed it all last night. Fucking showed it all last night. Ian thinks 11 gets us up. Defence looked more solid and unflustered with the Welsh free triangle. Rodon, obviously, more confident as he was pushing forward more, even over the halfway line times. Darlow, yeah, 100%, mate. 100%. It's just sad, isn't it? Because he should have made the call earlier. But it's done now. It's done now. At least he's made the call. Aronson worked his socks off. He was the pivot to our pressing in the first half, and then the second half, our defenders were too deep. Well, a massive hole. Yeah, you know what it is, though? I get what you're saying with Aronson, mate. I've got it all season. He frustrated me last night, mate. He frustrated me. He will do elements that are good in game. He isn't shite all game. You know, he isn't a shite player. But he was frustrating yesterday. Lost the ball a lot. It's just not physical. But are we even right to even mention that? Because we know he ain't that physical. But yet again, worked his ass off. He went down, he got back up and played on and just tirelessly just did what Brendan Aronson does. I do like a little bit more in that 10 than just the stuff that Aronson brings. I like what we see with Nonto when he gets into that central space and he plays that ball through Bamford. You know, Aronson don't play that ball, or he don't play, I don't think, to that level. He doesn't execute that well. But Aronson is a workhorse, and that side, I can't. A couple of individuals haven't hit the heights we know they can do. Tanaka, Solomon, Aronson. But they all work the fucking ass off, and does it matter at the end of the day? It's all about 3 points now. It's all about 3 points. Yeah, what a unsung hero, mate. I'm a big Gruev fan. When he had his last stint in the team for a few games, he were off it. So it was nice to see him back to his best. Jonathan, he needs sacking. Listen to what pundits on Sky, the whole social media behind it. It's actually absurd. That, I mean, we can't see it live, really. We thought Bamford was offside. That were our side, and we were like, yeah, everyone, hey, mile off. And I would bang straight on my phone. I got WhatsApps through. I got 4 or 5 people sending me still images through, and I was just like that. Wow, and everyone just could not believe, you know, that we hadn't been given them goals. The Tanaka one were worse for me because they were played on by 2, but just. Shocking, absolutely shocking. They need investigating. There's like Farker said, there's hundreds of millions of pounds at stake. You know, a whole club's future rides on this. You know, the development of the stadium, the players we could lose, the players we could bring in, where we could be in 3 years' time if we don't go up, either good or bad. You know, the difference in where we could be if we go up in 3 years to where we could be if we don't go up this season. And you've had 3, 4 of these this season that have cost us goals, cost us points. Luckily, it didn't matter in this game, but could you imagine if we'd have conceded a late equaliser? Fucking hell. Yeah, well, mate, our backs to the wall. I cannot underestimate the commitment. Bang on. Our backs were to the wall. With 7 players out, Middlesbrough played well yesterday. But a really good game of football. I really enjoyed the actual match. Nervous, obviously, but even for a neutral, I think for a 1-0 where the goal went for 2 minutes, so you still had 90 minutes of football, even though we scored 3. It was a really, really good game of football. Really good. Who's got spares for Stoke? Yes, Pirro off the bench. Pirro works better when game is more mature. Tired players, Bamford off the bench, but more time. Yeah, I've been an advocate early in season, Pirro coming off the bench, mate. I just don't think Joseph's a starter. And I don't think Pat is. So you've got to go with Pirro for me. Richard, I rate Strout, but just feel Amps and Road understand each other more, and Amps sprays and long balls. Yeah, was world class yesterday. How about world class, Richard? Yeah, I really like what they do at the back. You just miss him in middle sometimes, Ampadu, don't you? But it's them two they're like liquid gold at this level, mate. Hey, mate. Pirro did absolutely nothing again last night, mate. If he has any type of competition for the ball, he doesn't want to know. Yeah, it's one of them, innit, where you've seen this season, even when he's been off it, he tries to keep him on pitch as long as he can. He even drops him into 10, doesn't he? Knowing that he's his best finisher in the club, 100% the best finisher. But I've always said when he isn't scoring goals, he struggles to get in games. This season, I think he's adapted better than he did last season. He's been, games recently as well where his older player's been pretty good. He can drop deep, and I think he's got better at holding the ball up and giving and going. But I think it hasn't helped in the last 2 games that we've seen Pat come on and impact like he has. So it's made him look even worse, even though he's been. I mean, I think the YEP have given him a 5, and I think the game before they give him a 4 out of 10. So he's nowhere near it. Is Pirro? It's an harder no because he's the one you'll want in the position. If a ball lands to Bamford inside the box, he's the one you'd want there. Is Pirro to put it away. We've just got to hope if Bamford's going to get more minutes that he can keep his composure and he can put them away because he's giving us more currently than Pirro is. I still think you've got at least one more game of seeing Pirro start, at least one more, maybe 2. And if Bamford's body's holding up to these 20, 30, maybe longer minutes, there may be a change for the last couple potentially. We'll have to see. How's the head? It's all right now, mate. It weren't too good this morning, buddy. See, I don't drink, so I think I had 2 pints in pub and about 5 cans, and I could feel it. I could feel it. But I had no tea either. I was fuming. I had not to eat either all day. I got in and I made myself a cheese and ham and coleslaw sandwich with a packet of mini cheddars at 12:30 at night. That's sad times, that. Sad times. I cannot understand why we as a fan base wants to attack Patrick Bamford. It simply doesn't make sense. Yeah, well, I don't think anyone's attacking him now, buddy, but they have over years, haven't they, buddy? They have over years. Don't give him an ODI. I wouldn't give him an ODI. Still got 1 year left, mate. Still got 1 year left. If he could stay fit for a whole year and make an impact in Prem next season, the Prem, see how I said that, then this is a discussion to have. I don't even want to go down it. Ideally, he has some good games, helps us win promotion, and then go somewhere else and plays football and enjoys the last few years of his career elsewhere because it can turn toxic. It doesn't work on the regular because of his availability. He's injury prone. So I wouldn't give him a new deal, but we've still got a year left on him, mate. Matty, shocked saying he can be the difference. I'm phoning doctor. Mate, after what I saw yesterday, of course it could be different. But yeah, it's a craziness to me. It's a craziness. Those last 15 minutes is what it's going to be like in the Premier League every week. If we make it, going to be tough. Yeah, Duncan is. The thing is, there won't be many Matty meltdowns in Prem, I don't think. Because I'm sort of expecting to struggle. And I know the reality is, we might win 1 in every 5 games, maybe. It's going to be difficult. Would you take 17th for season? Yeah, you would, just to stay up again and build again and go again. But fucking hell, you're losing every week at that point, aren't you? What happened to Latte? He went to America, didn't he, mate, I think? Do we now spot players or the team? Well, I spot the team, mate, but I have my favourites. I would like to see Ramazani play more. That's a fact. Pirro, yeah, he did. I can't remember what game it was, but he has, hasn't he, mate? Yeah, no, he wouldn't, mate. Let's just keep it as it is, 100%. I'm happy with 30-minute cameos, and I'm sure Pat is, as much as I'm sure he'd love to start, I'm pretty sure Pat is one of the players who isn't, I don't think anyone's kicking up a fuss, but he's not going to be asked if he's coming on 65 minutes every game. He will be very pleased at that. 100% he'll be chuffed with that. Super sub. Yeah, and you need them, don't you? We need good players on bench. We need players who we know can impact off bench, and we now know that Bamford can impact off bench. We didn't know that before. We do now. I think Bamford will be gone if we go up, leaving a high note. That's it. Honestly, like with Firpo, moving on and stuff at the end of the season, which I assume he does. Is he a better time to move on than winning league, winning promotion? No. We know what the Premier League is going to be like. It's not a bad time to move on, is it? It's really not. Vibes on that bus look mint. Yeah, it was so good, mate. Just such a good group. Just such a good group of people. Don't know what I was expecting. Loads of 20-year-olds just off their head. I don't know. It was just so nice. So nice. Mixture of ages. It was class. I can't even tell you how good I enjoyed last night. Bamford being back put pressure on Pido, which could make him, 100%, mate. 100%. He should do. He needs to. Because he's got eyes too as Pido, but he'll have seen yesterday and thought they'll have all fought all team. I mean, I seen what tweet he put out. Did he tweet out his 200th game and all lads are backing him saying, you're doing well and stuff. And they'll even make some lads thinking, Christ, that were good, that, Paddy. That were good, that, maybe a little bit shocked. Some of them probably happy to see this from him because a lot of people wrote him off. Me too. Some of them not surprised probably, but I'm sure a few of them were like, "Wow, Pat, that was a good cameo. That was a good cameo. That I would so love 5 wins. Yeah, can you imagine now if we just absolutely smash it? If the clubs are giving new deals to Bamford and Amundsen, it's madness. Yeah, it is, buddy. There's a much bigger picture here. Do you want Burnley or Sheffield United? Why are we so stupid? Please, guys, get behind the team. Darlow floated it to DJ's head almost every time he tried. Lovely pings. Yeah, I think his distribution's really underrated. Honestly, I do. I think for some reason, people say, well, he ain't as good as Meslier with his feet. Is Meslier that good with his feet? I think Darlow's distribution were all right, mate. He's on the floor. Ian, there was that one time when he kicked it out of play and he kicked it out of touch. I think his actual distribution's been all right. And the fact of the matter is he's a goalkeeper for me, just keep the goal. I understand it's part of the game, but for the next 5, 6, 7 games we've had with him, it's not essential, that distribution. We have Bamford who can just drop back and take the ball off him and drive forward and ping it if we need. It's not the end of the world, but I don't think his distribution is going to be detrimental. And some people have argued that's why he hasn't played for us. But the fact he can catch a ball, he's vocal, he looks strong. He looks like, you see him, he just looks strong and composed. He doesn't look like he's got going on upstairs. Like Melly, I always think he's got stuff upstairs, all these ghosts and stuff ready to jump out and ruin his game and ruin our bloody weekend. I feel like he's just what we need is Darlow now. What's the big game that will test us out of the way? I'd probably say, David, this might seem a little bit random, but I'd say Saturday. I'd say the next game is the big game that'll test us. Every game, the next game. But what I will say is, with it being, we've just got through there by the skin of his teeth, down to officials because we scored 3 great goals. Hung in there. Really, really good fight and we get through it. We haven't played well and controlled the game for maybe 2 months, 9, 10 games since your Cardiffs, your Coventry's, your Watford. Been a while since we've controlled the game. I'd like to see a better performance now to sort of see the end of the form, sort of turn into, it's about results. I would take a 1-0 poor performance for the next 5, obviously, but it'd be nice to see a dominant performance at home. And the pressure is still there. We've just got back to the top of the league. Can we kick on and win this one? So for me, I'd say every game is as big. Every game gets bigger and bigger until we get over the line. But I think this game, with it being the third game in 3 days, in a week, we haven't done well on that third game this season many times. We've got better in recent months up until the slump. But earlier in the season, that third game in a week would always our Achilles heel. So I think this is massive. I think if we win this, back-to-back wins, the momentum's totally switched up, and I think we actually are fine then. So I think, David, to answer your question, I think this one, buddy. Remember Johnny Housen as a young lad playing for Leeds? Nice to see him grow. Yeah, he played really well yesterday. Really did. Darlow, at long last, he's starting in goal. There's still a question for you. Know who to answer as to why so long to make the change. I just think he bottled it, mate. He likes Meslier and he bottled the decision. And I think he's going to get away with it. Yeah, go check my mate Danny out, buddy. Yeah, I think he's going to get away with it, mate, but he should have done it earlier. I would not mind Bamford to get a 3-year deal if we go reduce wages as a bench option and Pinot on the bench as well. Loan Joseph. Yeah, we definitely loan Joseph out for me. I've just got a feeling he goes Rangers. Just a feeling. I think to give Bamford a 3-year deal, mate, even on a 10 a week's madness. I just think it's just no point, buddy. No point, in my opinion. And for Pat, I'm sure Pat will want more. I'm sure Pat will want to be a starter somewhere. Can Pat play in the Championship as a starter for a lower side? Yeah, he can. That fitness is always going to be a worry for any club, but I think there'll be a club out there that'll definitely take a punt on him. And he's in shot window now, isn't he? He's putting himself out there. I wouldn't give him a 3-year deal, mate, even on reduced money, but some people will, and that's fine by them. It don't bother me. It's not my money. I don't care. Yeah, we will miss him, mate. 100%. Paddy only won, and we got the minute to change things up. Paddy took pressure off because he made it stick. Unfortunately, Matteo. Yeah, unfortunately, Mateo's just not the guy. Is he? We got a confident Paddy, mate. We've got a great player until end of the season for me. Yeah, I agree. Like I say, the ball sticks and he wins free kicks and gets us out of tight situations. The pressure were on, mate, and he massively lifted the pressure off. Been in the stadium yesterday, it was so tense, and the amount of times he put his body in one as a free kick, and we were like, oh, thank God, Pad. Thank God, Paddy. Thank God. So good. Blunts have played 41 games and lost 8. We've only lost 4. Yeah. It's crazy, isn't it? All of a sudden now, they've gone from being top of the league and us all thinking they're not, well, maybe not us all, but me thinking they're not going to drop many points, to all of a sudden back-to-back losses. They've lost 8. I mean, they got pummeled 3-0 at home by Hull. Is that a side that should be going up? Probably not. I mean, look at us. We went to QPR last year and got pumped 4-0. Totally out of character, yeah, but we got beat 4-0. And guess what? We didn't go up. I mean, if you're a top side, if you're going to win league, should you really be getting beat at home, 3-0 in any game? Probably not. We haven't been beat 3-0 at home this season, have we? So I don't think it's something that really, it's probably quite a damning thing that when you look at them and go, actually, they've had some really dodgy results, but they're really good at grinding out the wins when they need to, which is something we haven't had to do that many times this season. Because usually when we're in our purple patch, we win by multiple goals, hence the goal difference. Whereas now it's got a little bit difficult. It's nice to show we can fucking do it. You will get a ticket, buddy. It's annoying for the Swansea game. I spent 7 hours refreshing the Leeds website to get 2 single tickets, mate. I was the same case. I spent an hour and a half. Good job when I was a kid. I was good at track and field like that. I was just refreshing. An hour and a half in car like that, and I finally got one. But yeah, I don't stress about it, mate, because the pop-up all singles, pop-up all time. I will get one. I got one once. I got one 3 hours before kick-off before. I'll just keep trying. They always pop up. Do I need to get a doctor to help me through next season in the Prem? Because I do not think it will be like this. We will be losing most. Yeah. Well, it is what it is, isn't it? Like the amount of people who I speak to who say, "Can we just win the division but stay in the Championship?" It's crazy, isn't it? Because I understand where they're coming from. Ultimately, you need to evolve. You need to go up, or you just lose you lose your best players in this league, though. That's the issue with staying in Championship. For as much as we might hate the Prem and hate what the Prem sort of is, and we know even down to not even just that struggling most weeks, even down to just the money side of it's just awful, isn't it now? To what I used to do, like when I was a kid, and I used to love it. You can't stay in this division, can you? Because your team's just absolutely dire. You just get diluted down, don't you? Manor and James attacked their fullbacks, which we have not seen 7 games. They were more direct in what we need to get going. Yeah, and when they were in form, when they were attacking the fullbacks, actually, they were the best 2 players in the division. Looks like Farke and Ramazani have made up for now from what I saw at the end. Yeah, I disagree, mate, with that. I could see full picture. Ramazani, what you didn't see on the cameras, Ramazani was walking away from the Leeds players. Didn't want to clap the fans, not because the fans, I don't think, but because I feel like he didn't feel like he deserved the applause. He actually turned and were walking away as the Leeds players were walking towards us. Daniel Farke then turned around and went back and grabbed him and like sort of grabbed and pushed him towards, and then he got involved, but he wasn't actually going to celebrate with the team. Ramazani was heading down towards the tunnel, and then Farke went back and got him. But then obviously the pictures get taken of him, and regardless whether people think there's an issue there or not, it is what it is. I want to see Largy play. People will say he didn't need to play yesterday, we won the game. I think he needs to play. What I will say with Largy Ramazani is if he doesn't play on Saturday, there's definitely an issue there, because this is the 3rd game now in a week. Like if he isn't playing any minutes at all in a 3-game week, there's an issue. That's how I see it. You have to play minutes when there's 3 games in a week if there's no issue. If he's a sub player, you've seen Gilavogi get minutes, rightly so, game state. You've seen Schmidt now come on twice. You've seen now James is injured. That's a winger spot gone potentially if he doesn't play, if he's 50-50. Solomon hasn't been great for a fair few games now. A couple of assists yesterday, but there's an argument to say if he doesn't get any minutes, if he doesn't touch grass on Saturday in a 3-game week, there's definitely an issue there, regardless of what anybody thinks. Do you get what I mean? I'd say that's fair. For me, Solomon is fine. He made DJ goal and more. Tanaka needs to find his shot. Yeah, like I say, his productivity was sound. He did have 2 assists, 1 short off, obviously. But I didn't think he had a good game yesterday, in my opinion. But like I say, I haven't watched the full game on TV. I've watched it in the stand. So my take to yours might be a little bit different. Tanaka does look off it still. Does look off it. I don't think him getting publicly criticised by Farke has helped him. He got publicly criticised and he's had 3 bad games off back of it. I don't think that's helped him. Another thing about that man management, some people think, he needed that as a push. He's the kind of player who can take that. I'm not too sure. He's struggled since he's had that criticism to overcome that. I'm not too sure that that's helped. Will Dan James, Stroud, Rothwell emissions affect Leeds' last 5 games, mate? Yeah. They affect everything. No, they're not having them as options. Is the rest of the squad good enough? Of course it is, Andy. But I would say so. I think Rothwell's a massive miss. I'm hoping has he got one more game? Is he missing? Then is he back? Hope Rothwell's a massive miss. That midfield with Strout being out and Rothwell being out, obviously with Bamford going back, it is a big omission having Rothwell out, mate. Especially when you're having to rely on Bamford at the back. Bamford has great experience when we had Bielsa, so. With our remaining games and the current pressure they're under. Yeah, that's a great point because Dilip, he hasn't been there for the running, has he? Last season, the season before. He hasn't been there for the running, but that's right. He knows what it's like to go up. So maybe that experience, is going to be invaluable to us. Darlow won us that game last night. Well, if you think Darlow won us that game, buddy, I think you were, a massive point to that 100%. Even though he didn't have many saves to make, the ones he had to do, he made. What I'll say is, if you think Darlow was a man of match, it goes to show you how well Middlesbrough played then, didn't it? Because it did feel like we were clinging on, and that'd back up that point that Middlesbrough did really well. If you think our keeper was man of match. Hey, Matt, you good luck, charm. You know it, Brookie. You know it, mate. This game had my left hand tingling. Don't say that, Aina. Don't say that, mate. I never got out of the ground till 1:30 in the morning, but worthwhile. Why not? I was straight out, me. We were straight out. We're on coach and coach. We're out. They didn't even keep us back. We were out in coach and on his way by like 10:30, mate. Why were you, 3 hours behind us? We're straight out us. Fair play, Danny. I feel optimistic, though, that we will be here, there, staying, maybe pushing in Europe down the line. Lee, please. Aronson has improved on his physicality. He is a ratter and works hard. He's definitely a ratter, mate. He doesn't stop bloody ratting about, does he? He's a workhorse. He's improved his physicality, yeah, but I thought yesterday he got bullied off a ball. But for Aronson, you can see he's definitely improved, but he's still got a lot more improving to do. But that in his game is he's going to get bounced down, but he's just everywhere. He's everywhere. But like I say again, I don't think he had a great game. He lost the ball a lot, but again, it don't really matter. We got the 3 points. That's all I care about. I'm going to take these clowns to court. They owe me big time for my 3-0 bet. Oh, never, mate. You didn't have a bet on 3-0, did you? Oh, nightmare. They're saying DJ and Rothwell back on the 18th. Is that 1 game missed? What day are we on? What day it is? Yeah, it's 1 game missed, isn't it? Be back for a weekend after then. There's my mate Wilco White. Sean, don't forget Late Night Leeds. Yes, anyone who watches our Late Night Leeds show, it's on tomorrow. It's every Friday night at 10, but I am in Cardiff for the weekend with the missus, so it is tomorrow at 10. Can't wait to get Sean and Adam's thoughts. We've got loads to talk about. The lads have got strong opinions, good and bad. It's going to be a really good show, I think, tomorrow night, so make sure you tune in. Good night, all. Top Banana, thanks for tuning in, buddy. Take care, mate. My mate's link Danny Rums' channel there. Check him out if you haven't already, please. Lionel was the least of our problems. Melee cost us points and Farke for continuously starting him. Andy, it's a point, mate. It is. Between the linesman and Farke and Melee, mate, you're talking a fair few points there, buddy. But yeah. Darlow shut up a few critics apart from JT. He has, mate. I say Pat is a weapon that can get us over the line right now. Yeah, and that's it, David. Right now, it looks value for decent minutes and value to give us something great. I can't believe I'm saying it, but right now, 100%. Until he's injury prone again, you look at the here and now. Great. I doubt a fully fit version of Bamford. I didn't doubt a fully fit version of Bamford. I was more frustrated waiting for him to peak again. Yeah, it's been frustrating, but I'm sure it's been worse for him, and he's backed himself to get to fitness, I'm sure, and get back to that level. I never thought I'd see Patrick Bamford take to the field again in a Leeds United shirt, and me be pleased to see him, me be happy with how he's performed. I was beyond anything I ever thought I'd see a Patrick Bamford again last night. He was electric last night when he came on. He was so good. And he moved. Like, you got to think as well, a lot of times he's actually come back still injured, carrying an injury. You could see he looks fit. He looks like he's got no niggles, finally. And he were happy, and it made us happy. We know what we get from Pat when he's on it. I just didn't think I'd ever be speaking like this about him. I just didn't. I thought he was done. And maybe it's his last little cameo. Maybe he's got a few more up his sleeve, and that's him done. And let's just hope he can continue what he did last night for the rest of the season. My thoughts on Isaac Schmidt last night. It's an Arden for me, Richard, because he's taken Ramazani's role, and I'm a Ramazani fanboy, as you all know. But yeah, great. You know what it is with Schmidt? He's a fullback by trade. We're led to believe. Farker obviously sees him as a winger, but because he's a fullback, he's, even though, don't get me wrong, he's very advanced yesterday, he gets forward like chuff, which he should do. But he's always going to have that defensive solidarity. He isn't a maverick, I don't think, like a Ramazani, like a non-Oakenby. He's an athlete, very athletic, very quick, very strong, very direct, but can also get back and also do the defensive side, because that's what he's known for. For Switzerland, he plays it in about 5, I think. Very good for, going both ways. So he's gonna get, rather than bringing on, if you need a goal, maybe you bring on a Ramazani, you bring on a non-if on bench, or a Solomon, whoever's on bench, who might go get you a goal. I think Schmidt's really good option for the wing to hold on to a lead, because he's really good at counters. He's quick enough to get up there, but he's also really good getting back. So I think every time we've seen Schmidt, Richard, not just last night, every time we've seen Schmidt, which hasn't been much, but even the cameos he'd made 2 or 3 months ago, fucking outstanding. He hasn't put a foot wrong. Every minute he's played well. Every minute. And some of the games, the game status of Paul, we're 3-0 up, it's done when it's had minutes before. The team's change. He isn't playing with a starting team. He's the 5th sub on, and he's got Gilavogi or whoever's there in that game. So he hasn't had it easy when he's played these minutes. He's looked great every minute he's played on pitch for Leeds. Best fans in the country by far. You know it, mate. You know it. Danny says, I'm still saying Paddy scores a winning goal at Plymouth to guarantee promotion, and it'll be a penalty. Well, I disagree now. He put penalty, because he'll never take a penalty again at Leeds United. But I tell you what, you say he'll score a winning goal at Plymouth. I said you've got no chance. After yesterday, Mike was the old man on the bus. To be fair, yeah. The last Leeds player to wear the number 9 shirt and reach 200 games for Leeds is Mick Jones. Nice little start there, Danny. Nice to see Bam Bam slide tackling like a young gazelle at the end. Pure determination. It was class, mate. Class. Who knew? Was our passing and possession better last night, Mate? Well, I thought I was passing first half of poor. I thought it was poor. I think possession-wise and passing again, mate. I haven't looked at the stats, to be fair. It's just the eye test. I ain't gonna flag them up now. It fell in the stadium first half. We struggled to make a 5-yard pass at times, and we struggled to build any pressure in their half. So I would say first half possession and passing seemed off. Second half, I think everything was sound. I really do. I think they still had chances, because they're going to the home side. They're always going to have chances. But I think we looked more in control in that second half than we have in a fair few weeks. But there were still chances for them. But that first half, I really felt, even it was weird, because we 1-0 up. Straight away, we started the game 1-0 up, really. But that passing, it's at press. Sides now are pressing us into oblivion, and we are struggling a little bit. So Darlow passing it out, a couple of straight passes. But we rode, we rode his luck a little bit. We rode the storm, we weathered the storm, and everything improved into the second half, David. I'm sure you'll agree with that. Shaky first half, and we grew into it. And by the end of it, I felt like we were controlling parts of it. But also, you're always going to have those 10, 15 minutes towards the end where the bombarding you and we caught really well. But I do think we improved. I would have said, without looking at the stats, our stats I would have assumed would have improved from 45 minutes onwards. That's what it felt like in the stadium, mate. Matty question, doing the double over Scum and Chelsea, then relegation off 17th first year back in the Prem. Andy, you know the answer, mate. It's got to be finishing 17th, pal. I know I'm a passionate guy and beating Chelsea and Scum will be class, but you've got to finish 17th, mate, and just stay up. And then build and then beat them that every year, mate. Ampadu with some lovely crossfield balls was nice. Yeah, well, mate, it was really good to see him. He offers that, doesn't he? It's what he can do. It's what he can do. Yes, we were dominating and controlling and weren't panicky. You will find out on Late Night Leeds tomorrow. You will. Yeah, actually, they do. The officials need sacking. We get done by the same official in 2 or 3 games before when we scored and it's disallowed. Surely needs investigating. Surely it could have cost us if results went different. Farker's fuming with it, innit? Absolutely fuming with it. You're always out, you, every night, Adam. Every night. Bamford on a 3-year deal, pays your play deal. And be good, won't be paid much. Nah, mate. David Oliver, I think Blades are all over the gaff. They might fall apart. Maybe. I mean, watching interview with Wilder, mate. Yeah. Mathematically, we need 12 more points for promotion, allowing for current goal difference. And I'm confident now we can win 4 out of 5. I wasn't 2 days ago. Yeah, 100%, Lee. We can't think about Premier League yet. When we get there, we buy lots of Premier League players. No Championship team is near Premier League levels. Needs rebuild. Yeah, 100%. Mate, the gap's massive. I don't really like talking about Premier either. Don't like talking about it either, mate. I'd rather wait. Hi, Matt. I just finished work up. You had a good shift, mate. And I totally disagree that DF bottled it with the Melier change. Wow, it's mad what some fans think. I totally disagree that Daniel Farker bottled it with the Melier change. Okay. Why do you think straight in again, Philip Hart? You're straight in, mate, dropping bombs. Why do you think he didn't bottle it? What made him keep playing Melier? I just think it was a massive decision and he just didn't pull the plug when he should have done. But I couldn't give a shit, mate, to be honest. But he's cost us points by not making that decision earlier, obviously, because he has. I don't agree with you on the form. I watched extended highlights for Luton and last night think we have played better in the last 2, but home game brings pressure. Yeah, home game brings pressure, massive pressure, mate. Massive. Raffle back for the last 2 games. Could be massive, that, mate. Could be massive. Tanaka has played a lot of mins this season, more than any other player. Just is that, yeah, he's. I can't remember someone read his minutes out last season. I think he's already played 600 minutes more than he's ever played, I think, in a season before. Plus, you had his international games in and stuff like that. He said, didn't he, as well, he's just running on empty now. He's running on empty. And we need him to pick his form up, though, because he's such a crucial player to us as Tanaka. I don't want to think of him playing this poorly for the next 5 games, but I'll back him to get out of it because he's quality and there's different gravy when he's on it. I told you, Matt, I couldn't watch the game last night as an important engagement and we won. Not watching live again, Matt. Yeah, that's class, Michael. Dirty Leeds says, I was just Tanaka'd. He's played more minutes already than he did full first season. Yeah, there you go, mate. There you go. He has got great attitude. How many shots did Bud have on target, mate? I think it was 3. I'm sure it was 3. But like, so 20, I think they had 20 shots, 3 on target. So awful, mate. So awful. Largy will play. Don't worry about this Saturday. Be the best time for him to put things right with Farker. With Ellen Road bouncing, he will thrive. We needs to be settled. Hopefully, mate. Cheers, David, mate. Have a good one, buddy. Thanks for tuning in. Is sticking with Pirro right? Should Farker give Bamford more of a go? I think he's getting more of a go than any of us ever thought, mate. The fact he's back in now and he's number 2 and he's coming off a bench. I would say stick with Pirro another game and then we'll assess it after that. But Pirro's not in form at the minute and Bamford looks fucking quality. But I do think you've got to give Pat the chance to build his minutes up and see how his body holds out. If he starts, you're asking him to play 70 minutes, maybe 60. He might come off a little bit earlier if he started, but yeah, I'm not too sure. I'm especially after a win. Hope you're okay too, buddy. You never agree with Philip. It's fine, mate. Top lad, Matty. I'm knackered. I really don't agree with what you are saying, but we'll still watch and smash a like. Cheers, buddy. It's fine, mate. You don't have to agree, mate. It's opinions. Like, tell me what you don't agree with, pal, if you've only just tuned in. I tried messaging you well before the game. Didn't get out, mate. Schmidt has been brilliant. He's had to wait, and now he's been good. Yeah, he's had to wait a bit too long for me, but some would argue he's waited the right length of time because now he's playing well. Fair play. He's got his chance, and he looks a great... It's like a new signing, isn't it? It's like a new signing, having Schmidt playing now. Players will get their chance when the manager thinks he's right to... I think it is with you, Philip. You think Farker's right about everything, don't you? Like, if it's daytime and it's a nice clear blue sky and Farker told you we're a black sky, I think you would agree with him. That's where we're going to disagree, I think, on stuff, innit? Because you think because he's a manager, whatever he says is gospel, which I would say is a manager is more qualified than me, but it doesn't mean he's right everything. Do you know what I mean? That's how I view Farker. But ultimately, I think we'll go up this season. So regardless of what any decisions he's made, the Melier one, which for me went on too long, does it matter if we go up? No, it doesn't. Like that linesman yesterday, what a dickhead. He should be sacked, that linesman. Ultimately, we've got 3 points. Cost us another 2 goals on goal difference. I don't think it's going to matter. He probably gets away with it because it hasn't impacted the result. So it's one of them, mate. There's loads of different fucking superlative, different little parts to the machine, isn't there? But ultimately, if we get up, it's all BS, really. Paddy made a batty challenge and then turned into Messi in one move last night. Paddy was up for it last night and should be off the mark. It was great finish. Paddy will get us promoted. Do not panic. Yeah, I think he took that goal so well, mate. So well. I think there will be more minutes for both Schmidt and Gilavogi between now and the end of the season. I would have said no about Gilavogi, but if Strauch's out and you've got Ampadu playing at centre half, mate, you're probably right. He's going to come on. Hi, Matty. Still think 92 points will get you promoted. Sheffield United won't make that total. Still 9 points off it. 92. Yeah, I would think more than that. But yeah, it's come down. I mean, I was saying 100. I was saying 98 to 100 only 2 games ago. I think we need 96, me now, mate. I think 92 is a little bit low, but it all depends. I'm expecting Sheffield United to drop points again tomorrow at Plymouth. I just think they will. Imagine Not Being Leeds. Dr. Scott said, when's Becky and the other little mate? I spoke to him today about it. I'm hoping to get one out very soon. Becky's just not quite well enough at the minute. She's been in hospital, like I say, you know that from last week. And I'm holding out. We're holding out for Becky to be well. I'm hoping we get some over weekend or next week because it'll have been 3 weeks at that point. But they still want to do it. They're still ready, but I don't want to do it just with the 2 or get someone to fill in. I want it to be the 3 of them. And they're really excited for it. You know, we're on a group chat, we speak every day. So yeah, I'm just being patient. I don't want to push. You know what I mean? So yeah. Where's Sean Healy tonight? Has his Fark out button stuck again? Brendan interview. He stated they play better with more room against attacking teams. The problem is against teams that shut up and play direct. We struggle, Brendan said, need to be better against those teams. Yeah, I agree, mate. 2 shots. I want 2 shots, yeah. See, I mean, he made a couple of decent stops with Darlow, but they were so awful. They were so wasteful in front of goal with Middlesbrough, but they had loads of opportunities. We settled early and started well last night. We scored at the right time as someone in these last 5 games. We are going to give a team a good hiding like Cardiff. Sheffield United got tricky games before Burnley. Yeah, they have. Be nice to have another hiding, mate. Be nice to have another game where it's over and done with like half an hour in. So, yeah. Farker gave Cresswell the same hugs last season. Let's see if it's just for sure to get the fans off his case. Ari Large, he says, Michael. Good point. Buying another toaster after more steak experiments, says Andy. No Pedano Pie. It was a great Your Tanaka video on TikTok. Cheers, mate. Yeah, me and my stepdaughter on TikTok. We do some mad shit on there. Tanaka. Yeah, we have fun, mate. Like show, a bit more of my personality on there. I ain't always miserable to that. Would you give Bamford first 45, then Pido second 45, or vice versa? He ain't going to do 45 minutes, is he, pal? So I don't think it's really worth touching on. But Bamford, for me, has got to come off a bench because it's working currently. I'm a bigger me on whatever's working currently, don't change it. And Bamford's working off a bench. You know, in previous seasons, he hasn't been a great impact player off a bench. You start Bamford and he comes off. But right now, he's working off a bench. So I wouldn't change it, buddy. So I would start Pido and go with Bamford. But maybe in 2 weeks' time, that conversation switches. Imagine Not Being Leeds YouTube channel of the year 2025. I don't think so, buddy. Thank you. I know you're a big fan of the channel, which is much appreciated. But yeah, thanks for that, buddy. Can't see what he's saying, to be fair. I don't know where he's gone. Did the dude give a reason why he got out of the ground 3 hours after the other Leeds fans? I don't think so, mate. No. But yeah, definitely were 3 hours after me. I would out pretty quick. Paddy Sound coming off the bench. Don't need to be losing him to injury with the way he's been playing. We got away. Way to go yet. More minutes of football, play a big part. Yeah, like I say, I didn't envisage this happening with Paddy. But I don't think they should rush him. The fact he's getting 25, 30 minutes, it looks like it's enough for him to impact a game, which sometimes 20 minutes, 25 minutes isn't enough. With Paddy, it's perfect. Why risk it for any more minutes right now? And we'll assess it in a week or two. But I was buzzing with him yesterday, and I was dead happy for him as well, because he's had a tough road, hasn't he? Let's be fair. Fucking hell, like, he's had it shit. Had it really shit. Bamford is perfect for the final 30, 35 minutes of games at this stage. Keep bringing him on for Aronson when he runs out of the Duracell. Pirro is our best finisher and wants to keep him. I think that's what he'll do. I think he'll still want Pirro on there for those chances if they do fall. You got to think Paddy with knockdowns, with holding ball up, laying off. It could be a nice little combination. That 92 points not safe. 97 is safer. Yeah, I agree. I hope Mateus. I hope Joe Blackburn. Hope you're well, mate. Danny talks, but can I just say thanks on behalf of the chat for all you do? Matty, you're a great lad, great banter and great meltdowns I want to see more of. Don't want to see meltdowns, it means we're not doing well, mate. But yeah, thanks, mate. You're a star, buddy. You're a star. Richard says, Joby, so for content creator scope, who would be Pirro and who would be Bamford? I don't think he has he, Joe? I don't think he has. But yeah, Joe, you've just come in, and I'm going to wrap it up at there. I've caught up with chat. I go until I catch up with the chat, and I've caught up with the chat. And we're an hour and 22 minutes in, so I think I'm going to call it good night because I am knackered. But yeah, great experience for me yesterday, going to an away game with the Garth of Whites. So good. Recommend anyone, if they can ever get a ticket, to go with a supporters club. Such a good atmosphere, such a good night. Hopefully I can get to a few next season with them. Look how many goals Pirro got coming off the bench, so it's a rock and hard place to treat. Yeah, it is. All I will say with that is he had a young, fresher player playing in, for that first 65 minutes. I don't know if Bamford's got that in legs. I don't think you get much of Bamford starting and having to come off, 45 minutes if he can't handle a full 70, say. But I agree, I were all on that, mate. I were all on early after 10 games when it sort of switched and when Pirro started. Joseph, I said keep it, it's working. Keep it as it is, and obviously eventually, because of how good Pirro were doing off the bench, they had to change it, and he's started ever since, really, hasn't he? Oh, 5'5" of you, Joe. Yeah, great chat, Matty. Cheers, Aina. Thank you, mate. Go again Saturday. Come on, Leeds. I'm gutted I ain't going, but I'm in Cardiff with wife for a nice weekend away. No kids, which never happens. Matty, how do I contact you? Instagram, mates. I've got an Instagram. Imagine Not Being Leeds. Send me some on Instagram, Bob. I'll speak to you on there. Is it football score predictions Thursday night? Yes, score predictions tomorrow night, mate. Please be back for late night Leeds tomorrow. Really looking forward to it. Like I say, we've got a bit of a Rafinha section as well. But yeah, late night Leeds tomorrow at 10. Me, Sean, and Adam. Can't wait for it. It's my favourite show of the week. Thursday, hopefully we still get the regulars coming in who love the show. With it not being a Friday, I'm a little bit concerned that it might clash for people, but hopefully it doesn't. And we'll see you all there tomorrow. But yeah, I'm going to call it a night at that. Thank you very much for tuning in. Much love. Leeds are top of the fucking league, baby. Cheers, guys.